Hey guys, it's Bub here, and in this video we're taking a look at another custom ISO. Today we're taking a look at Windows Vista Retrophase. Now I'm going into this completely blind. In the past we've looked at Windows 11 Retrophase. I'm not entirely sure that they're made by the same developer, but obviously they share the same name, so I'm expecting some similarities. I'm very eager to get into this. Again, I'm going into this completely blind. I don't know what to expect. One of my viewers recommended this to me, I believe 2 weeks ago actually. So we're finally getting around to taking a look at it and seeing what this OS is like. So we can see right here, obviously it's named Windows Vista, so we get the Windows Vista boot screen. The one thing I am unclear about that I guess we're going to find out is this Windows 10 modified to look like Vista, or is this Vista? We're going to find out as we get into this operating system because, again, I'm coming in blind. As you can see here, we have our Windows Vista install screen. It looks more like an older, like a Windows Longhorn or Vista Beta type of login screen because it has the blue arrow effect and not kind of what we actually saw ship with Windows Vista. We saw that bluish green in Windows Vista. Here we're just seeing a solid blue. Hopefully we're able to skip the activation because I don't have a product key. The other thing I noticed here is you can see our little spinning waiting symbol right here is totally different from what we see in Windows Vista. Even Windows 7, 8, 10, and 11. This is more of again, a greenish hue instead of what we see now, which is a blue. Alright, and here we are. So we're agreeing to license terms for Windows Vista Home Basic, Premium, and Ultimate. I accept. We'll do a custom install on our hard disk. And here we go. We are now installing Windows Vista Retrophase. I'm, again, very eager to see what this OS actually is. Alright, so now it's asking us to distinguish a username. So we're just going to go ahead and name us Windows. We're not going to set a password because why not? And we'll stick with the default picture. We'll name it, leave it as Windows PC. Notice this hovering. When I hover over this button, it has a nice blue sort of arrow effect. We didn't see those in our traditional Windows Vista install. Just went through very briefly random things in the setup. Just look at how easy it was to set Windows up back in this time. Windows 11 cannot compare. So now we're ready to start. Initial setup is complete. When I first log on, the Welcome Center will show us some capabilities of Windows Vista. I am so excited to see what capabilities this OS or this ISO has built in. Now, of course, Windows is going to check our computer's performance because that makes sense. It's going to do that. Alright, so now we have to activate Windows, but we don't actually have to. We'll activate this later because I don't have a product key for Windows Vista Retrophase. And now it is currently doing some personalized settings. And here we are on the desktop of Vista Retrophase. So you can see things are still loading in, but first we have the Welcome Center that our OS told us about. So we can see Welcome to your computer, Windows Vista Retrophase, Intel Core i7, 1 gig of RAM, and our name. Typical things that we would see in the Welcome Center for Windows 7 and Windows Vista. The first thing I am going to do is go ahead and open Control Panel wherever it is. There it is. So that I can go ahead and change the resolution so that you guys get a little bit better viewing experience. We're going to go with 1366 by 768. There we go. That should look a lot better for you guys. The first thing I want to take a look at while we're in this screen right here are the window borders. Very interesting. They look typically what we'd see with like Windows Longhorn, but up here in the top right we have a different style minimize, maximize, and X button. They look nothing like we've seen in any production version of Windows. I actually kind of like them in a way. I wish they were a little bigger like the modern versions, but I actually like them. Here in the desktop we have a lot to take a look at, especially from the sidebar. But here we have our recycle bin, which is empty by default. We have a README file for the Retrophase series. So this is a modern reinterpretation of Windows Vista inspired by the early 2005 concept and designs and the refined clarity of the Project Clarity ATL. I've never heard of that. Maybe we have to take a look at that. Vista Retrophase updates and enhances the original Vista experience while preserving the iconic arrow design and layout, bleeding it with more conceptual and experimental interface ideas from early prototypes. What's new here? We're running beta 1, so this is the first version of Vista Retrophase. I do recall it being a very new publish date when I downloaded it. Well, we might have to take a look at Project Clarity in the future. I've never heard of it. Let's go ahead and close out of that. Next, we have a submit feedback button that tells you how to actually submit a bug report for Vista Retrophase. You can report the server. What is this? Probably a Discord server. Yep. Pretty cool. Over here on the right side, we have 3 widgets by default. We have our clock, we have our slideshow, and then we have an RSS feed that probably doesn't work. Down here on the taskbar, we have our system time, our system volume, we have our network settings, as well as Windows sidebar, safely remove hardware, Windows security alerts, because we're still running Windows Vista in 2025. We see our firewall is on. We don't have auto updating configured or malware protection, only because we don't have virus protection actually installed. We then have, lastly, the Bluetooth devices. Over on the left side of the taskbar, we have Internet Explorer, which I would be surprised that, is this really? Yeah, this is really Internet Explorer. I only say that because most of the modern custom ISOs actually come with Firefox theme to be IE, but I keep forgetting that we're actually looking at Windows Vista. So it came with whatever version of IE this was. Let's see if I can figure it out. Yet we're running IE 7. That is really old. Wow. Over here we have our Show Desktop button. No, that's switch between Windows and then Show Desktop. And then we have the iconic Start menu. Here on the left side we have our pinned applications. So we have Internet Explorer, Windows Mail, Media Center, Ultimate Extras, Media Player, Live Messenger, DVD Maker, Meeting Space, Backup and Restore, and Text Editor. And here on the right side we have Windows, Documents, Pictures, Music, Games, Recent Items, Computer, Network, Connect to, Control Panel, Default Programs, and then lastly we have Help and Support. So pretty standard things that we would see in Windows Vista. Going to more programs. Was it always more programs, or did it say all programs? I feel like it said all in the production version. We have, I'm not going to read through all of these, but let's see. We have extras, or these are accessories rather. Typical Windows accessories, extras and upgrades. I did not mean to click on that. Moving down, we have games. Everyone knows, if you watch this channel, you know my favorite game from this era was, where is it at? Purple Place. I used to play that all the time on Windows Vista. We also have pinball, which I'm assuming, no, actually it's not even there. That's disappointing. We then have maintenance and a startup folder. Let's go ahead in here and take a look at WinVer. I'm assuming they customized this. Yep, Windows Vista Retrophase. Lastly, we'll look at our task manager. See that we're using typical Windows CPU utilization, and I gave this VM 1 gig of RAM. Remember, this is Windows Vista, not Windows 10. We're running 666 megs of memory idle. That definitely sounds like we shouldn't be running this operating system. Let's go ahead and take a look at our disk usage. I gave this a 40 gig disk. We are using 14.3 gigs, which means we have 25.6 gigs free. And I actually really do like this kind of purplish blue gradient at the bottom and the top of this window here. I really do like that. Lastly, I do want to take a look at the lock screen, because I did notice that they did customize it to say Vista Retrophase. I just wanted to point that out, as I noticed that in the initial, before I started recording, boot process. But it does take a while to log in after locking. I mean, that wasn't even a log out, that was a lock. It took that long to actually sign in. So that being said, if you have any other ISOs that you want me to take a look at on this channel, please let me know down in the comments below, because a lot of my videos recently have been viewer recommended ideas, and I love doing videos like that because I love giving you what you guys like to see. If you like this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new around here, as I do all kinds of different technology videos, including device restorations. With that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.